My name is Noah. I am currently trapped in the subterranean mailroom of a movie studio, locked behind a closed door.
My name is Daniel. I am also here. I'm not happy about this.
We,
Noah, you did this to me.
okay, listen. If the question is this my fault or not, then the answer is definitely a maybe.
Yes.
Okay, I may have lied.
Objectively.
I may have lied and told you that Big Movie Studio wanted you for a job, despite the fact that I had not contacted Big Movie Studio at all. I might have broken into Big Movie Studio's property and through the ceiling entered one of their mail rooms. But
Making me an accomplice in the process, Noah.
yeah,
Ignorance is no excuse.
I may have made you an accomplice in my breaking and entering.
I've committed a felony, Noah.
Yes, you may have done that, but the question is this is this my fault? Kinda.
Noah. Oh,
Okay.
I don't want to be here, dude.
Well, listen, we may be trapped in a mailroom, but the more important thing is our friendship, and that even if you're truly friends with someone, you won't kill them just because they accidentally trapped you in a
Noah,
mailroom.
I quit my job for this.
That was not something that I told you to do.
You told me I had a job, Noah.
Um,
I dropped out of college for this.
In retrospect, I might have made an oopsie.
This is a little more than an oopsie, Noah.
Well, maybe just speaking objectively, maybe we should be less concerned.
Noah, I think I'm going to hurt you.
Please don't. Why are you laughing like that? Please, okay.
Noah, I'm ruined, Noah. I have nothing, Noah.
Listen.
God.
Oh God. There has to be.
Oh.
Oh, what was that?
I think something fell from the mail chute over there.
Mail chute. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. I thought this was a defunct mailroom
It's some sort of package.
package.
Yeah, there's a letter tied to it.
Okay. That's something.
Should I read it?
I mean, yeah, go ahead. What else are we gonna do?
Dear trespassers, we have been aware of your break-in since you entered our property. Security footage and recordings have monitored your activity, and we are aware of everything you have done in our mailroom. Admittedly, we were impressed with your pitch for Minecraft. It was serviceable. We spent several $100 million developing a film based on Minecraft, and perhaps if we had you breaking the story, we could have wasted less money and time on that stupid film and let our talented people work on more important things. But what we find especially appealing is that we don't have to pay you. We no longer use the mailroom, so we've decided it will be of worth to us to send you the rights for movies that we don't care about or can't figure out in exchange for sending you the materials you need to survive. You might think this is unfair, cruel, and illegal, but we are a big movie studio, a multi-trillion-dollar business with a legal team so good that they filed a restraining order against the cosmic concept of karma. So us doing this to you will, in fact, never come around to bite us back. You have two choices. You can make yourselves useful, or you can slowly starve inside an abandoned mailroom, which is henceforth converted into a totally legit writer's room. Attached is everything you need to make your choice. Unfeeling and ambivalent regards, Big Movie Studio.
Oh, okay.
And there's a package here.
Right. What's inside of it? Is that a Slinky?
It's a Slinky.
That is a Slinky.
Oh, okay. I guess they want us to make a Slinky movie, and in exchange they'll send us food.
Oh,
All right. So I guess let's do it. Let's make a Slinky movie.
okay. Wait, what? How?
Well,
It's a Slinky.
We'll just make a Slinky movie. We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Would you
Noah.
rather starve to death?
Noah, we're being held hostage.
Hello and welcome to the Totally Legit Writers Room.
My name is Daniel, and I'm a film student.
I'm Noah, and I'm not. And each episode, the two of us have 1 hour to adapt an IP or concept into a film. Today, it is apparently a Slinky.
That's great. Okay. Well, what do we know about Slinkies?
What do we know about Slinkies? So, Slinky, famous walking spring toy. It was invented by a man named Rick James in Delaware. He went to college at Penn State, He did mechanical engineering, and then when World War II happened, he did engineering for the American military. He was working on a horsepower meter, and he knocked over some things from his desk, including a spring which curved into a majestic arc. And
Majestic arc.
he had the idea to create the Slinky. The Slinky essentially creates a longitudinal wave similar to a sound wave. And,
Like the Transformers.
Yeah, he created the Slinky. He took it to the 1947 Toy Fair. He partnered with Gimbals to release the toy. Eventually, it didn't sell at first, but once he demonstrated what it could do, everyone wanted to have one because it's sort of a weird concept. It's just a spring, but then like once you show people what they can do with it, then
It is very cool in practice. I have
Then-
seen some pretty sick things done with
once
Slinky.
they had an appeal, everyone wanted one. So he was making a lot of money. And then he sort of had a crisis and started donating a lot of money to religious groups. Eventually, he left his family to go live with a group of Bible translators in Bolivia,
Oh,
and his wife took over the business while the company was in debt from him giving away all his money. But they brought it back up, and eventually she sold it off for a boatload of money and lived happily ever after.
how interesting.
Yeah, the Slinky is also used as antennas in Vietnam and in space, where it was used in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, but it's still used for antennas.
In space.
In
Okay, that
space.
makes sense. The metal
Yeah.
ones, obviously. Huh.
There's also supposedly a paper Slinky, where half of it is paper and it can generate power through static electricity.
Ah. Okay, that's fun.
Plastic Slinkies like the one we have here came along later and helped them to cut down their costs so they could continue keeping the product cheap because they wanted it to be a toy that even the poor kids could afford.
Could afford. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Imagine being so poor you can't play with a Slinky. That would
Right.
be awful. All right.
So how are we going to make a movie about a Slinky?
We have a few options, the way I see it. We
Okay.
could do a biopic about the creator of the Slinky.
I don't think
I don't think that's the boring way to go.
I
I
don't
don't
think-
think it's what we should do.
I don't think we want to do that.
Yeah.
Generally, I want to stay away from that. I don't like Tetris and how Tetris was just like it's the story of Tetris. I'd rather see a sci-fi movie where blocks fall from the sky and have it be like
Awful.
have it be cheesy rather than. Okay, I'm not knocking against the Tetris movie. I'm sure it's a really good movie. It was written really well, and I'm sure it's an interesting story. That's not the kind of movie that I want to write.
Okay. I guess that's
Um,
fair. We could do an animated movie about about living Slinkies. We could do something like Flubber about a fictional mad scientist creating Slinkies.
Here's the thing. I've thought about this a little bit.
Okay.
And basically, Flubber is the closest thing to what I was thinking. Basically, my approach was when you're going to adapt a toy like this, you think, okay, well, what is the toy about? What does it make you feel? And in a lot of cases, you can do that. Like a lot of toys are about creativity, or they're some sort of embodiment of what a child desires to be, or something like that.
Okay.
In this case, a Slinky is just a little doodad, and it falls down the stairs.
Yes,
like,
it does do that.
The main thing you do with
Like my
it
grandmother.
is get the mild amusement of making something fall down the stairs.
So, what if,
hmm
hear me out here, we adapt the Slinky into a slasher horror film about a man named the Slinky who pushes people down the stairs?
I don't think we want to do that. I don't think that's what the people at Slinky Incorporated really want us to do with their movie.
Unfortunate.
But, okay, I was just thinking, like, what does the Slinky do? What kind of moments would we want to see from this movie?
Okay.
And I'm thinking, well, you want to put a Slinky on an escalator at some point,
Okay.
like in that Geico commercial.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
guess that makes sense.
Maybe you can do stuff with like Slinky tricks and stuff like
Slinky
that.
tricks. Okay.
And the Slinky was also used to create the laser sound in Wall-E.
Huh.
They strung it. If you like string out a Slinky at two ends and then basically hit it with something, it'll make
It
like
goes,
a sound. And that's how they made.
I don't even remember there being lasers in Wall-E, but
Well,
okay.
Eve has a laser and
Oh,
like,
she
shoots-
does. That's
shoots-
right. I
shoots
forgot.
Trash with it or something. As
Yeah.
Wall-E is trying to woo her in the courting montage.
That was an interesting film. I like that movie.
It was a good movie.
That's one of my favorites as a kid. Anyway,
I-
Slinky movie.
I also want there to be a scene in which a Slinky is being held between two planes.
2 airplanes.
Yes.
Okay. And they're flying with the Slinky in between.
Yes. So basically, what I settled on is, what if the Slinky is the MacGuffin?
Okay.
I have 2 ideas. One, we do it where the Slinky is magic, and like the people who do Slinky tricks are harnessing magic somehow, like it's their arcane focus.
Okay.
Or we do it that it's like a 90s style comedy a la Flubber, where there's this genius scientist and his brain is somehow put inside of a Slinky, and then he and his son have to run from like bad people who want his brain in the Slinky to design weapons or something, and
I think that's the funnier option.
it's just a Slinky going through stuff.
Okay. I like the mad scientist has his brain stuck inside of a Slinky,
And then,
because it's just such an absurd concept.
It becomes about his relationship with his
son.
kid.
Yeah, a la Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen Flubber.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but it doesn't really matter because it's just, the genre. The genre of
I saw The
wacky
Absent-Minded
comedies.
Professor, which is what Flubber is based on. That was a good movie.
Yep. Just that kind of thing.
Okay.
Feels like the kind of toy movie that you
Don't
that
really
you
see a lot
see.
of anymore.
Well, yeah, but it's just,
It
I feel
works,
like it works for the Slinky.
very much so. Yes.
We could do that angle. What would it look like if we explored the magician angle for a bit?
The magician angle. Okay, so you're
So
saying
they-
2 magicians, right? How many magicians are there?
Just a certain number of magicians. I guess I'm picturing like an urban fantasy thing where there are these sorcerers
Oh.
living in the world who wield Slinkies to harness magical power, and then we need to create some sort of mythology around the Slinky.
That's far more interesting than what I thought you were saying. I thought you were just saying that there is this guy who uses a Slinky to do magic tricks, and
No.
he just goes, okay,
No, I'm saying
that's cool. Actually,
he's
I mess with
legitimately a
that.
magician, and he's like doing Doctor Strange things, but with Slinkies.
With a Slinky. Okay,
hmm
interesting.
What naturally follows from that? Because I feel like I have an idea of what the
Hmm.
wacky scientist one would look like a little bit, and that's more appealing to me now, just because I have more of a grasp on it.
Yeah,
But we could explore
the
just
magic Slinky. How would that work exactly?
a few details. I mean, you've
Would
seen
the bad guys be bad guys who also have Slinkies, or would they be like some sort of anti-Slinky bad guys?
I guess
like some sort
so.
of evil school of magic
I
that
assume
doesn't use Slinkies.
I assume that everyone would use Slinkies. I mean, what would you have the evil guys be otherwise? Like yo-yos?
That's actually kind of funny.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure we want to diss yo-yos. Are yo-yos the opposite of Slinkies?
I feel like they're very, very similar.
Mm-hmm. You can kind of do tricks with them. I don't know.
Hmm. It could be that there are multiple schools of magic,
Mhm.
such as Slinky, Yo-Yo, Paddleball,
like
bouncy balls.
like the doodad to the toys you'd find in a museum gift shop cinematic universe of magicians.
Yeah, Jax, and all of them are overshadowing the Slinky
Okay.
magician. The Slinky magician feels like he isn't treated with as much respect as
I'm
everyone
imagining
else
more
is.
so there's like a secret society, not necessarily a secret society, but just like there's these people wandering throughout the world who use the power of Slinky magic, and our protagonist is one of them, and he ends up getting caught up.
in something.
Like an urban fantasy thing where there's just Slinky magicians in plain sight. Slinky is currently owned by Just Play. They also own Shrinky Dinks.
What's a Shrinky Dink?
You don't know what Shrinky Dinks are?
I do not know what Shrinky
They're
Dinks are.
like those plastic sheets of paper that you draw things on in colored pencil, and then you put them in your oven, and they get smaller, and you make them into like keychains and stuff.
What?
You never heard of
I've
this?
never heard of Shrinky
Oh my
Dinks. No,
gosh.
what?
Just Play also makes licensed toys for Cocomelon,
Oh,
as well as other things. They don't appear to have like
Much
any
going
other
on.
big things that we could say. Oh, well, they make Slinkies, but they also make Extreme Yo-Yo, and we could have like that be the two factions.
okay.
I feel like if we were gonna do the wizard thing, everyone wields Slinkies. It's
Everyone
just
wields Slinkies. Is
some
probably the
people
way to go,
wield
yeah.
the power of Slinky for evil. Slinky doesn't mean anything. I don't think there's any theme.
To Slinky.
to
No,
a
there
Slinky.
is not a theme to Slinky.
It's just
It is a toy.
It's just a novelty.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It'd be like asking what is the meaning of a bouncy ball.
Even
I don't know.
compared,
It's a bouncy ball.
even
It
compared
bounces.
to other toys, like even with a bouncy ball, I could say like, well, we want to achieve height metaphorically. With a Slinky, does a Slinky appeal to our like Schadenfreude? of pushing something down the stairs. I think it's kind of just like the equivalent of a cool thing to look at.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could say that the Slinky represents our desire to stay in motion.
It's also a discipline, like because people do learn tricks with it in the same way. It's just sort of like
It's
putting
just sort of looked not
effort-
really thought about that much.
effort towards something, and I feel like that's what we'd kind of be doing with the magicians.
Okay,
We're either doing one or the other, unless we somehow find a way to combine them so that
combine the two.
the dad puts his brain into a Slinky that's then being hunted down by Slinky warlocks.
And the son learns the power of Slinky magic and
Uh-huh.
uses the Slinky that is infused with his dad's brain
Yes.
for good Slinky magic.
Yes.
Because he is the last good Slinky magician who has to fight off all of the
Uh-huh.
evil Slinky warlocks.
So in this world, the Slinky warlocks have been taken over by an evil Slinky warlord.
Warlord, yes.
And-
And killed all those who were the good Slinky magicians. And so we've got the one Slinky boy left.
Maybe the dad is like, he's a scientist, but he's like, he was kicked out of his job because he's sort of like an alchemist and he's mixing up too many spiritual things into it. So he ends up accidentally discovering something that infuses the Slinky with special power. And he doesn't know exactly how he created it, but the Slinky magicians want it.
Okay.
And then we can have a Slinky mentor. Up until now, I was picturing that like the Slinky is being hunted down by like the Russians who want the brain,
Russian Slinky Warlocks.
Who
Easy
wants-
fix.
who wants the brain that's inside the Slinky to like design weapons for them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I kind of like the idea of that. That it's this action thriller, like spy thriller that revolves around a Slinky, but we could also do this.
No, I think the action thriller is better. I think we should toss the magic out.
You don't think? Okay.
I don't know. What were you saying?
I kind of like the idea of combining them.
Okay.
But
So we go with that.
okay, well, we could do either.
Hmm.
So basically, there's a dad and a son,
There is a dad and a
and the
son.
dad somehow puts himself inside of a Slinky. I think regardless,
Is the dad dead now?
well, no, he's inside the Slinky. I
Okay,
think he has a
okay.
way of communicating. I think he can talk to his kid.
Okay.
I don't
It
think
would
we-
be funny if the Slinky grows eyes and like uses kind of like Microsoft Clippy and like it like hand me the Slinky really quick.
Uh huh.
Ooh. And it wow, this is very fun. And it like does this to talk, like opens and closes.
Like it opens and closes.
Like
its
opens
coils.
and closes its coils. It's
I like the
"Hello,
idea-
son.
I like
I am
the-
a Slinky.
I like the idea of it opening its coils to communicate. I don't really know how I feel about the eyes.
The
Another thing
eyes?
is they did create the Slinky dog and the Slinky train,
Mm.
which could.
So are those the different schools of magic? You've got base Slinky, then you've got Slinky Dog and Slinky
If we're gonna
Train.
do the magic thing, I feel like the Slinky dog is like a familiar where you turn your Slinky into like a dog, and it's still like a Slinky dog, but it just does like, and we make it cool and scary where it's like running around and stuff and attacking people with its Slinky things, where it's like a rabid wolf. We can redesign the Slinky dog because the Slinky dog, you know what the Slinky dog looks like. It was featured in Toy Story. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what it looks like. There's appear to be no other variations
of the Slinky Dog.
of the main look of the Slinky dog, but we could redesign it to make it look more magical and have more like a geometric wolf look.
Okay.
Let me look up Slinky Train real quick. The Slinky Train is just a train. It's like a little train engine. Some of them appear to have faces on the front of them. And it has a Slinky in the middle that like separates the front of the train
From the back of the train.
from the back where the engineer sits.
Mm.
And it looks like you would pull it on a string just like you would with the Slinky dog.
Okay.
They both have wheels in their feet. Maybe the Slinky Train is like a way of transport for these magic Slinky people. And there's like a
flying Slinky train
maybe
with a Slinky conductor who is also a magical construct made of Slinkies. So like his arms and legs are Slinkies connected to hands and feet.
And if he's like a minor villain, like they end up in a sequence on the train and there's like they're like trapped on the train, we could have the dad enter the composition of the Slinky conductor, and then he ends up taking him over from the inside and basically making him like punch himself and stuff.
That would be cool.
And then the conductor falls apart, and the bad guys realize the man is inside the Slinky conductor, and it's like all the Slinkies are like shuffling away. They're like, one of these Slinkies is him. Which one is it?
And also, it would be really cool design-wise for the Slinky conductor for him to be visibly made of plastic. So his face is just constantly locked in a smile and doesn't make any expressions. That'd be very scary looking.
So is he like a Slinky train? Does like a Slinky train make up his head? where like the face of the Slinky train is.
No,
like,
I
the
think
Slinky.
they're fighting inside of the
He has a-
Slinky train.
he
Like
has
the
a-
conductor of the
right.
Slinky train is separate from
But
the train
if the
itself.
conductor is made of Slinkies, we could also have it be that he's made of several Slinkies, but the one Slinky that makes up his face is a Slinky train, and the face of the Slinky train is his face.
We could go with that. We could go with that. Slinky train conductor driving a Slinky train would be funny.
Yeah, that would make sense. I feel like, okay, how does this sound? In lore, the entire universe in its existence is in the shape of a Slinky in the fabric of the universe, and it's all spiraling
The
over each
Slinky
other.
galaxy.
So when you use a Slinky, you're harnessing the power of that nature of the universe. And the Slinky train travels through the spiral
of the universe
between realms. I don't think we want to do like a multiverse thing.
Yeah,
but I'm
more of
guessing-
like a magical, like a D&D sort of planes thing.
Yeah, like a planes thing. Like there's the Slinky dimension where the primal energy of all Slinkies come from, and there's like
Okay.
Slinky heaven and Slinky hell, and the good Slinky users.
And this film could be the Slinky boy and his Slinky dad traveling to the Slinky dimension so that they can set things right. So it's like
Yeah.
a road trip dimension.
There's like an alternate. There's like the planes of energy where they draw the Slinky power from.
okay.
And there's one good and one bad. And then there's our world. And then there's like an alternate world, and that's where all the Slinky magicians are headed. There's like a secret
Okay.
world where through the Slinky train they arrive at the Slinky station.
like
and-
Hogwarts kind of.
Kind of, yeah. But it's like that's where the palace is of the Grand Slinky Warlord who's trying to hunt. And like there's a resistance maybe of Slinky wizards, and the boy end up getting
Ends up involved in them. How old is this boy? Is this like a 12-year-old? Is this a teenager? This is like an elementary school
I feel like
student?
about 12.
About 12? Okay.
About 12. You want him to be young enough that we can explore like the idea of him and his dad
Okay.
in like a child and father way.
Yes.
But also old enough that he can become like the chosen one, experienced Slinky
okay.
wizard, and free the world from Slinky oppression.
Slinky oppression. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, at the end of the movie, do they successfully get the father out of the Slinky back into his body, or does the father sacrifice himself in some way?
I feel like they get the father back into his body.
Okay, okay. I see that.
I mean, what do you think?
I don't know.
Because the alternative is that like the father stays his son's Slinky familiar and is just used as being as hard.
Or the father could die at the
spells.
end, which is where I was going.
I don't really think the father should die. I don't think that this is that kind of movie.
Okay,
I think
is this a children's film that we are making?
I think this is a family movie.
We are making
yes.
a children's film.
I think
Okay.
it's a cool one. I honestly
Yeah.
I honestly like the idea of taking something as innocuous as the Slinky and just putting. See, this is what's great about the Slinky. At first, we were like, "What the heck are we gonna do with the Slinky?" And then we realized we can do anything with a Slinky. So we might as well make it ridiculous and have the entire fabric of the universe revolve around Slinkies.
Slinky. Yeah, no. This is a banger movie.
Mm-hmm. So now I just need to figure it out. So,
Okay.
some things that I want to happen in this film that we can string it between to that wasn't intentional, that we can define our plot. Slinky on an escalator. You want the Slinky to get tangled at some point,
Yes.
and like that,
And that to be a huge thing.
that to be a huge
Maybe
thing.
even have to take him to the Slinky Hospital,
This,
which is a hospital that is also a Slinky.
mhm. We're gonna okay. We're getting too much. I feel like you take him to like there's gonna be a resistance in the Slinky world.
There should be a toy maker who
Mhm.
doesn't have magic powers himself,
Oh,
but
that's great.
fixes Slinkies.
That's great.
That is really cool.
Uh-huh.
I like the toy maker idea,
What if
and he's
they-
leading the resistance
Okay.
because he loves Slinkies so much.
I mean, the resistance exists in the world of the magicians. So in
Yeah.
my mind, there were once good Slinky magicians, and they use their Slinky power to protect the world and keep everything in balance
Mhm.
with the Slinky.
with the Slinky Force,
With the Slinky
the
Force.
Slink Force,
The Slink Force.
with
and,
our slink to the universe.
and when Barry Allen gets struck by lightning after a bunch of Slinkies fall on top of him, he becomes the human Slinky. And when he taps into the Slinky Force, he's only as powerful based on how many Slinkies there are connected to the Slinky Force.
okay, that's the sequel,
When
the Slink,
the Slink. Slinky Allen.
Slink Allen,
Slinky Allen, Slinky Celeste.
the Slash. I don't know.
This is dumb. Let's stop ripping on this. Let's stop riffing on the Flash.
I love the Flash. Anyway,
So there were once these good Slinky warriors. They got taken over by an evil Slinky warrior, and now most of the people are like using Slinky power for evil or to further his goals.
are we gonna do the Harry Potter thing where they're Slinky racist nationalists who think that people who don't have Slinky powers are lesser beings and should be subordinates.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. The Slinky Warlord is going to have a goal. What are we going to make that goal? How is it bad? And how?
I think he wants to subjugate the humans.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I feel like the dad has put himself into a Slinky,
Yes.
and we're going to establish that this Slinky that he's put himself into has somehow become more powerful than other Slinkies.
This Slinky is the only Slinky that the Warlord can use to travel to the real world.
Why? I feel like we established that the Slinky train is going to be used as a method of travel.
Well, yeah, the Slinky train can take people of normal power, but the Slinky Warlord has such a great amount of power that the Slinky train cannot transport him without it causing a tear. And
what if
breaking things.
the Slinky people are the Slinky sorcerers are most powerful in the Slinky dimension, where the Warlord is headed. They can still use their power in the real world, but it takes more energy. What they need to do, the Slinky that the dad is, it's not meant to exist.
Okay.
Because he created a random lab accident. It's an anomaly, and he can basically use it to create a passage that punches a hole through the boundaries of the universe, which will cause essentially an incursion that will fuse the two universes into each other, and then he'll have his maximum amount of power in the real world, and then can take it over.
Yeah, I see that.
Does that make sense?
I do like that. That does make sense.
But I feel like if he did that, like unknowing to him, he would possibly end up destroying the entire universe because the multiverse as it exists, or all the realms are connected in the form of a Slinky.
Okay.
And if he breaks that, he'll break the cosmic Slinky, and that will destroy the world.
Oakley dokley. I do mess with that. That is a good way to go with this.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this toy maker.
This toy maker.
Should
he be a member of the Resistance, or should he be some guy in the real world who is just a toy maker?
I feel like he's either a normal guy or he's like an ex-Slinky sorcerer who is now hiding in the real world after the fall of the Slinky Kingdom. And then he could either way, I see him being a mentor to the kid, but we're probably going to need a mentor figure who's going to teach the kid Slinky magic.
Yes.
And I do like the idea of this toy maker who's sort of like, he's in the world that's sort of trouncing on him and his toy shop is closing down, but then he discovers this magical thing and he and the kid are able to help discover creativity.
Okay.
But then we'd also have like a second mentor in this case that would be teaching the kid Slinky magic.
Or the kid could figure out Slinky magic himself.
I like the idea of the toy maker being
an ex-wizard.
An ex-wizard more. As much as I like the idea of this ordinary man discovering the magic alongside the kid, I feel like it makes more sense. And we can make him jaded.
Make him jaded, and he's still rediscovering this magic.
He's we can still make it that his toy shop is closing down in the real world, but he knows Slinky magic and he's hiding, but he's kind of given up. And he ends up, maybe the kid sees him using Slinky magic for some reason, as he does it in an emergency, and he has like, teach me. I was attacked by Slinky wizards the other day. You need to teach me how to use my dad to fight the Slinky wizards. And he's
like, yeah, teach him how to use me.
I don't. Why is the dad like a 1930s?
I don't know. I had to differentiate myself from the young boy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what era is this? Like modern urban fantasy? Or are we taking place like
I imagine we're doing it modern, but it's also like slightly 90s because we're kind of like doing it based on 90s
fictional time period.
Both wacky. Canonically, it's modern day, but they're like there's a lot of 90s tropes, and the movie is structured like a 90s movie.
Got it. Okay, I see that.
And the toy maker is approached by the kid who asks him to teach him. And he's like, I don't do that anymore. The world is nothing matters. This toy shop's going to get shut down because the world is cold and unforgiving and the evil people are winning in the Slinky dimension and everything will fall apart. And there's nothing we can do about it. And the kid is like, but you still care because clearly you're still selling toys. Even in this world without magic, you've still kept the magic that you brought with you and you're giving it to kids in the form of play.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I like that.
And then he convinces him to teach him Slinky, and they go on a quest to protect his dad from the evil wizards. They go to we'd have to figure out how to structure it, because we currently got, like, he's going to be hunted down by the evil wizards, but which is a passive thing. like they're running.
Yeah.
But
Sort of like
also,
the ring race. Lord of the Rings.
we're gonna transition into them doing an active thing where they fight against.
The wizards.
Although we could
yes.
also have it be that they end up in the Slinky dimension after being caught and then bring it there. But I feel like we want to spend some time with the Resistance. And then you can
Yes.
have the Toy Maker confront maybe his old allies that he abandoned.
Okay. The toy maker could be the old chosen one
Mm-hmm.
who ended up giving up on his responsibility, but then went on to train the new chosen one.
I'm sorry, say that again?
The toy maker could have been the chosen one who was the key to,
Uh-huh.
or at least they could have thought he was the chosen one. There could be this prophecy.
I don't know.
They thought it was him.
Okay.
He failed and ran away.
We could do the prophecy. I don't feel like we need to actually have there be like a chosen one. When I said chosen one before, I kind of just meant
Okay,
he's
just more like
he's the specialist boy and he's the kid becoming the hero that's going to save everything, despite the
Okay,
fact that he's only been at this for like a month.
God.
Probably less because this is the course of a single movie, and I don't
Okay.
think we're even going to make it.
Was okay because they refer to Harry Potter in the Harry Potter movies as the chosen one. I don't remember there actually being like a prophecy in that.
He is a chosen one. There was a prophecy.
There was a prophecy. Okay.
Yeah, that's not important
Got
to us right now.
Mhm.
I just sort of meant the idea of like
Got it.
him
Okay.
being the special kid because
Special little boy. You know, I know what you're saying.
he's
Yeah,
the protagonist.
Mhm. Hmm.
Okay, so let's just start at the beginning. The dad becomes a Slinky.
The dad becomes a Slinky.
Okay. Also, how are we going to contrast the dad and the toy maker?
You're right because
'Cause
the
they're
dad
sort of-
was the original mentor figure,
Uh-huh.
but now he's a Slinky.
Well, I think it's still about the dad that's like reconnecting with his kid
okay,
in the form of a Slinky.
got it.
Um,
The dad has
and
been ignoring his kid to spend all of his time in the lab.
we can also
And the accident is caused by the kid coming downstairs to ask his dad to do something with him.
we could also like cut the toy maker out pretty early after he's taught him some stuff. Like
Yeah.
we like have him get captured or like go to create a diversion and hold them off while they go on the Slinky train or something.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
like that.
If we
The
want to
toy
focus
maker
on,
could be the one who gets Yeah.
like an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. where
Yes.
Once they've got him to the place they need to be, we sort of come out for a while. I don't think we would kill off the toy maker.
Probably not. Probably
Um,
not. I think we make him the new de facto ruler of the Slinky dimension afterwards, but in a far more democratic manner.
Yeah, he's gonna need to learn his place back because he sort of bailed out on all of the resistance people,
Yes.
and he's gonna need to prove his worth and make it up to all of them. And
Mhm.
then eventually he'll transition into leading
Yes.
the cause.
As he did before. Okay.
Yeah. So, hang on, I lost my train of thought briefly. So, yeah, the dad's trying to reconnect with his kid. At the same time, he's a Slinky. And that is a challenge to that. But it's also like they wouldn't be reconnecting in the way that they were if not for this situation that
Yes.
they were put in.
So there should be a lot of conversations between the child and the dad. The
Mhm.
dad does not know what any of his kid's interests are.
Yeah.
This kid should have an interest. Probably not Slinkies.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like baseball or
I
something.
think the kid has a Slinky. Okay. I think the kid has a Slinky. Here's what I was picturing. I think the kid has a Slinky.
Okay.
Maybe a Slinky is something you can do by yourself.
Yes.
Yes, it's a toy. You watch it fall down the stairs. Let's
Yes.
say that the dad's lab is in the basement, right? And so the kid, he's an only child. Let's assume that the mom's out of the picture
Okay.
because that seems pretty typical.
She was killed by Slinky wizards, but the dad doesn't know.
Well, you could do it that the mom was a Slinky wizard. But
The
she
mom
didn't.
was a Slinky wizard. She had to dip. Eventually died. That's
What
why
if-
this kid can use Slinky magic.
We could also make it so that the mom was a Slinky wizard and she was related to the toy maker, and like.
I feel like that's too much of a stretch. I feel like the mom shouldn't be super important in this scenario.
I just feel like if we're gonna make the mom a Slinky wizard, then we need to have it be significant in some way that the toy maker knew her, and that might also be part of the reason that he agrees to train the kid, despite being.
I guess that works.
initially.
Yeah. His mom was a Slinky wizard who was heavily involved in the resistance and eventually died. The
Uh-huh.
father knows none of this.
Yeah. Maybe like she wanted a normal life, and the toy
Mhm.
maker helped her get out of there.
Okay.
At the same time, he ran away from everything. Maybe he helped her get out, but then she got killed by the evil sorcerers,
Okay.
and that was what made him jaded, and he couldn't go back and face
okay. I like
his
that. I like
allies
that.
after she died.
Okay.
Also, I think
The dad knows absolutely nothing about Slinky
Yeah.
magic or Slinkies
the
in
dad
general.
doesn't know anything.
In fact, he's not even doing an experiment on Slinkies. I
He's
like
just
your
a-
idea of the kid dropping the Slinky down the stairs,
Yeah,
and then that Slinky
He's
interacting with something the dad is doing,
He's-
causing the accident, which turns him into a Slinky.
here's what I'm picturing. The kid is alone, so he's playing with his Slinky because he has nothing else to do. He doesn't have a connection with his dad.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. From Just Play's perspective, the movie is about you can have fun with a Slinky with multiple people, and you can Slinky together.
Mhm.
But he sends a Slinky down the stairs. The dad gets upset with him, like, I told you to stay out of my lab, don't bother me. But just like the Slinky is exactly the thing the dad needs. What he needs is essentially just like a wire to connect two things, and the Slinky has been used as an antenna. So he
Okay.
ends up taking the kid's Slinky to use in his project, and he ends up
Turning himself into the Slinky.
turning himself into the
Okay,
Slinky.
okay.
But how does that happen?
Uh,
What is he trying to do that ends up going wrong and turning himself into the Slinky?
I don't think we have to specify that.
Uh-huh.
I think we can just have him be a mad scientist doing mad scientist things.
Uh-huh.
With little to no regard for his own safety because he's depressed because his wife is dead, which is
Okay.
why he's so distant from his son because he's too busy grieving his
What
wife.
if he is a mad scientist? He doesn't know anything about the Slinky sorcerers and all that,
Yeah.
but he has a theory that basically the universe
Is a coil
is
of some kind.
is like a giant yo-yo or something. And like we keep going back to yo-yos. He's wrong, but he's like almost right. He speculates that there are other universes, and he's trying to pull on the energy from other universes to do things.
And so he's so close to pulling
But
on that
little does
energy.
he know, he hasn't been able to do it.
Okay.
But once he uses the Slinky, that's when it works, because the Slinky is the thing that connects everything.
Okay.
Slinkies are magical.
Okay. But he sees that as the Slinky begins glowing as he's harnessing the power. But
Yeah.
he has no way to stop the power from running through the Slinky.
Uh-huh.
So after a bit of fumbling around, he tries to just straight up grab the
There's
Slinky.
too much power. He grabs the Slinky. His consciousness ends up transferring into the Slinky.
And the
Basi-
Slinky's consciousness ends up transferring into his body. So his body is standing there, and then it like bounces a bit, and then Slinky's sideways so that he's standing on his head, and then bounces a bit, and then Slinky's sideways so that he's back on his feet again.
I like that. I don't know if it's too much.
I think
Okay, actually, I feel like we can use that. We just can't overdo it
Mhm.
with Slinky him. But I like the
Yeah.
idea, and then we can have the Slinky.
Wouldn't it be funny if his Slinky body is following them around?
I feel like they end up like trapping his Slinky body somewhere, and then later it gets taken, or like,
Dad, what's your body doing here?
what if I don't know if like the kid is trying to set his dad up with like his teacher or something like that. You know, he wants him to get out of the house. Or,
That's actually really funny.
He wants to
and the
experiment-
Slinky
and-
body goes on a date with the teacher.
the
and the teacher
teacher-
falls in love with the Slinky body as the Slinky body
Like,
is just bounce.
the kid fakes like
flip
a
on his
note
head.
or something from his dad, and then she ends up coming over and then like finding the Slinky dad in like a closet, and he ends up tumbling out, and they end up going on this wacky adventure.
No, it's not even a wacky adventure. It's just a normal date.
It's just a normal. It's like the one side plot in Minecraft.
The Minecraft movie.
Where she's dating a villager, and it's like she's really liking it, even though he's like a Slinky. It's also like that one episode of Gravity Falls where Zeus switches bodies with a pig and then goes out with a really attractive woman.
And the woman falls in love with pig Zeus.
And wants to marry him at the end, but he was
The funny
he
way
was
we
just
could
a
end this
pig.
is the lady falls in love with the Slinky. We put the dad's body back into his body,
Uh-huh.
and she's like, "I don't like you anymore." And then she goes off and marries the Slinky.
Uh-huh. I don't feel like we want to do that. I feel like we
Okay.
want to have the Slinky still maintains somehow in the process of him transforming the Slinky that also put him inside of it. He also imbued the Slinky with some sort of power, which is what allows that Slinky to be used to bridge to incursion the worlds.
Okay.
And that Slinky is more powerful, and it's going to maintain being the Slinky that the sun uses
I know.
afterwards.
How about part of the reason that they have to travel to this Slinky alternate universe is they pulled so much power from that universe that it's going to cause everything to crumble, which is why that Slinky has so much power. You can travel from place to place and mush things together.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Is that too far?
I feel like the main threat is going to be that the bad guy wants to use his dad, who is inside of a Slinky, to enact his evil plan and dominate and combine the world so he can rule with an iron
It's the
fist.
combination of Slinky power with a human soul
Like
that gives it so much power.
Maybe I thought the idea was supposed to be that like this Slinky isn't meant to exist; it's an anomaly, and that's why it can rebel against the Slinky.
The
order.
Slinky is an anomaly because it is a Slinky with a human soul in it.
Okay.
And he's the first person to figure out how to do that. Because he's combining science and Slinky.
Even after the dad is taken out of the Slinky is still powerful.
It is still powerful?
I feel like we don't need to justify that.
I guess,
it's a silly
it's a children's film. The
where
Slinky
a dad
is
goes
the
inside
Slinky.
of a Slinky. The Slinky
Slinky
is the Slinky.
Yeah.
So his dad is trying to tap into this interdimensional energy, but he doesn't know that Slinkies have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Maybe there's like so the kid is playing with his Slinky, goes down the stairs, the dad is getting mad at him, and he's also like, why does your teacher keep texting me? I may have like told her that you were yada yada.
Okay.
The kid's trying to set up his dad. And then he ends up taking the Slinky to use in his experiment. He ends up going inside of the Slinky. Basically, I think how we justify it is the Slinky was pulling so much power that it basically created like a black hole effect.
Okay.
Where like it starts pulsing power and then it needs to pull back in, so that's how his consciousness is pulled into the Slinky. And then we have it, just because it's funny, we have the Slinky be inside his body.
Inside his body, which goes on a date with the teacher.
Which implies that all of the Slinkies have like some sort of consciousness in them. It's semi-conscious. It's like
semi-conscious.
It pulls its consciousness from the field of the Slinky energy field.
Okay. Yeah, it's about as conscious as like a plant is. Like it does the things it needs to stay alive, but otherwise it is.
The Slinkies gain their power from their partnership with their wielders. So, which means that as the kid and the dad grow closer together, they'll be more powerful. But if they're arguing,
the Slinky is less powerful.
They won't be as powerful. That's good. We can.
And there should be an argument that causes them to fail at something and possibly get captured.
Yeah.
What would that argument be about, though? Argument's probably about, hey, Dad, you don't ever spend time with me. Why don't you ever spend time with me?
You never spend enough time with me. Maybe they like have an option to somehow reverse the dad being a Slinky early on, but the kid won't because it would get in the way. They need to like help the people of Slinky World.
Oh, but the dad does want to because he thinks this is all stupid and insane.
Yeah. The dad just wants to not be a Slinky, which isn't an insane thing to want.
Yeah, no, that's very, very reasonable on his part. We could have the dad be the like the voice of reason, like the what is happening character. Why are these things doing this?
He doesn't care about. He's self-absorbed. He's put himself into his work, and that's also why he kind of grew apart from his wife shortly before she died. And he also doesn't know how to relate to people.
I think he threw himself into his work.
He threw himself into his work because she died of mysterious circumstances because she was killed by Slinky wizards.
Yeah, and he didn't know this. She just disappeared one day, and he was just sad, which is why he withdrew from his son into his work.
Right, and then so the kid is playing alone. He sets up. He tries to set up his teacher with his dad, which causes conflict. The dad doesn't listen to him and like finds that his play, the little bit of play that he gets to have by himself because he doesn't have anyone else around, is intruding upon his dad's important science work. And his dad needs to learn the more important thing is family.
Yes.
But the dad takes the Slinky, does the experiment, gets put inside the Slinky. Immediately, they realize what's happened, and his body's standing limp there, and then it starts to coil and do Slinky things, and they need to track it down. It starts running, and like they start partnering up with it, and then I imagine that they chase the dad's body with the Slinky's consciousness in it into a mall, and it starts going up the escalator, or it'd be going down the escalator, but the escalator's going up, right?
Okay.
And so everyone is freaking out at this bendy man. That's continually going down the escalator on his head and feet like a Slinky. And the toy maker's toy shop is like a little shop inside the mall. Maybe it's even just like a stall.
Okay. I think it would be cooler if it's like a whole toy shop, but it's like a little magical toy shop that is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Was the Slinky originally his mom's Slinky? It was his mom's Slinky, and it's now a toy that the son has. And
Yeah,
it
that
ends
makes
up
sense. I like
it
that.
ends up being the Slinky that the dad's consciousness is transferred into, and it's also somewhat latently magical. I feel like we're gonna have the kid be attacked by Slinkies in the mall as he's going, not attacked by Slinkies, attacked by the Slinky wizards
Okay.
as he's going to retrieve his dad's body from the mall.
Mm. Yes.
And so I feel like we want it to have something that like the Slinky wizards can detect that this is happening,
Okay.
and that the Slinky is.
There should be a unique energy signature coming from.
Yeah,
the
there's a
Slinky.
unique energy signature. It's as easy as that. There's a unique energy signature. Go investigate it. Or rather, the warlord is like, someone is using the power of Slinkies without my permission. Like, they're hunting down rebels all over the place, and the rebels are hiding underground in Slinky World and on the Slinky train, lying low. But they're also traveling, through the real world just to get around. However, whatever they need to do to survive.
Okay.
And so they already have evil Slinky wizards patrolling for the Slinky rebels.
Got it. Okay.
So they're tracking this energy signature. They assume it's just like any other Slinky rebel,
Yeah.
but they soon see that it's something entirely unique. Once they examine it up closer,
Yes.
It creates like some sort of adverse reaction. Maybe because the kid isn't in sync with his dad. It creates like some sort of spark thing or like explosion when it comes in contact with the other Slinky, and it's just like unstable.
Okay.
But they realize that that's a sign of its power.
Got it. Okay.
And they report it to the evil guy, and then they're after them. And they meet the toy maker in the fight at the mall.
Okay.
He ends up defending them from the evil Slinky wizards and helping them get out of there. And then the kid asks him to teach. They go back to their own house where they believe that they're safe.
Okay.
They put Slinky's the Slinky consciousness in the dad's body. They put the dad's body in like a closet so that it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then he convinces the toy maker to teach him how to harness the power of Slinky magic.
Toy maker does so because he knew the kid's mother.
He realizes,
he does a little bit of teaching.
Maybe he doesn't tell him that he knew his mother at first,
Yeah.
but he does. So then they go on their journey. They leave the house. The teacher shows up thinking that she's going to get a date with the dad because the kid went behind his back and set that up. And she finds like there's a thumping coming from the closet, and she opens it,
and it's the Slinky man.
And she's like, Leonard, and I assume his dad's name is Leonard, I guess.
Leonard. Okay. That's a good name.
I just wanted to
Leonard the scientist
play out the scene where he says his name and have it actually be a name. And she's like, "Oh, Leonard, it's you. What were you doing in the closet?" And he just starts like going, and he's like, "Are you going somewhere? Okay." I'm excited today, and they end up going on a wonderful date.
Amazing, beautiful. They go to the beach. They go to the carnival. They go to the movies. They go get dinner at Olive Garden.
They go to an escalator again.
He teaches her how to do the Slinky thing, so now she's just able to Slinky with her body.
There's at least
like she's just capable of doing it.
There's at least one joke where after they get him back in his body, and there's like a slightly wing thing where she's like, I feel a lot more flexible after those things you taught me.
And he's like,
he's like, what? This is great. I love this. This is fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
Okay.
I feel like this concept for a movie will be either good or terrible, either like fun or terrible, depending on how you handle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We need to flesh out Slinky.
Yeah. There's the plot. I want there to be at least one scene where, like, okay, when it was like a spy action thriller where he was protecting his dad from the Russians, I imagine there being at least one scene where he like strings his dad and then hits him with a little hammer to create the laser sound to make Russians in a warehouse think that he has a laser gun.
Okay.
I don't know if we could do something with that.
A few things. I think it would be cool if at some point he is using the Slinky like Spider-Man webs and slinging around things.
Yeah. Imagine that the Slinky sorcerers do the tricks in the Slinky with their hands, and they like lash it out like a whip, and it does like energy stuff.
And they can like pull themselves a little. They can like
they use it with a shield. Maybe they can, if they like twirl around their body well enough, it can distort the light around them and make them slightly invisible or something. There's endless potential.
And that thing you're talking about, the Slinky slung between two planes, we can just do that between two Slinky trains in the Slinky universe.
Yeah.
And we could have him tightrope fighting on the Slinky with another evil Slinky wizard, but like melee combat. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay, so he's on the Slinky between the trains.
Yeah. Like it's a rebel Slinky that is slung between two trains, and he is Slinky fighting with an evil Slinky warlock on top of.
No, because remember the Slinky train is two ends of a train with a Slinky in between. So it's just like he's fighting on top of the giant Slinky that connects the trains with his dad as his Slinky against the evil Slinky guy.
Okay, what I was thinking was there's a third Slinky connecting two Slinky trains, and they're fighting on that.
I mean, okay, I feel like we'd want the drama of having the dad be pulled between two Slinky trains. So if we're doing that, then the Toymaker is with them at that point, or rejoins them, and
okay.
And
I don't know. That's a less important action scene.
And then he's fighting the guy while the kid is holding on to his dad, while another guy is pulling on the other end.
Okay. Oh, and they're like tug of warring with the Slinky, like trying to get it from one to the other.
With the Slinky. I feel like we said that we wanted to like cut the Toymaker out for a little bit so that the kid and the dad have more focus. I still want to focus on the kid and the dad. I think the Toymaker needs to be with them for most of the time, because otherwise they're going to be lost in this world that they don't understand.
Yeah.
You need to have your guide through it. And they can split up at certain points once they're in an established location.
Yeah.
But...
And I mean, the Toymaker and the dad will just have different personalities. The Toymaker will be jaded and know what's going on, and the dad will have no idea what's going on, be constantly asking questions, be very, very scared, and be conversing with the son more.
And the Toymaker might be like, your wife would be disappointed in you, or something like that. But at the same time,
that's mean.
She'd be disappointed in him. He's projecting.
Yes.
Because he also felt like he abandoned her.
Okay.
I can see the Toymaker becoming like an uncle figure to
uncle figure. I like that.
By the end of the movie. Okay, so throughout the majority of the movie, they're running from the evil Slinky Wizards, or rather, they get away from the Slinky Wizards after the mall. Okay. And they're recuperating, and then he convinces the Toymaker to teach him how to. Okay, if you're the Toymaker at this point, what's your priority? Because how do we transition from them going into an active thing where they're like going on the Slinky train?
They're running away. He's teaching the boy how, and they realize something about the Toymaker's plan. About the bad guy's plan.
How are they going to separate the dad from the Slinky? Because I feel like that's one of the main things. Does the dad immediately get stolen? And now they need to go and get it back. And he's only stolen for a moment, but then that kicks them off into the thing.
Okay, that's not a bad idea.
And then maybe they meet up with the rebellion, and the rebellion has beat with a rebellion guy. We need a character to represent the rebellion that the Toymaker left behind. Okay. And he's gonna beef with the Toymaker. But then the kid is captivated by we need to help these people.
Yes.
They want you. We have something that they want, and we have the opportunity to help. Rather than maybe at first they're just like, fine. Maybe the Toymaker is just like, fine, I'll train you a few things so that you can protect yourself, and we'll go to this place where I know you can separate your dad. And he also wants to separate the dad because he knows that if the bad guys get the Slinky, they'll be able to do bad things
with it. Yes.
But at a certain, then they decide to abandon that special place where they can separate the dad at, the Slinky Forge or whatever.
I think what happens is they get attacked at the Slinky Forge. And right before the dad separates himself.
They get rescued by the rebellion.
They get attacked and have to...
No.
I think they get attacked and they have to hop onto a Slinky train to get out.
Okay.
And end up in the other universe. Where they do a bit of exploring alone.
I was imagining the Slinky Forge was in the other universe.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where all the Slinky stuff is.
That makes sense. So yeah, they have to go
on the Slinky train to get to
the Slinky Forge.
The Slinky Forge.
Okay.
They're attacked on the train. They're still being pursued by the bad guys as they enter the Slinky Forge, and they're trying to separate the dad really quickly, which probably isn't safe, but the Toymaker's covering their back. But he's overwhelmed. Before they can separate the dad from the Slinky, they get rescued by the rebellion. The bad guys break the Slinky Forge. It's broken.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah, Slinky Forge is broken. Dad's like, oh,
they get rescued by the rebellion, who picks them up on their Slinky dog, their Slinky Hellhound, essentially.
Okay.
Our new redesigned Slinky dog, who then they ride on the giant Slinky dog through the Slinky plains, and they go back to the Slinky Rebellion headquarters,
And then they're in Slinky World, and they
They're
do
in
some
Slinky
Slinky
World.
fighting,
They do
and
some
then
Slinky
end game of the film happens.
Okay, the tension. We're gonna get to the end game. Then the tension needs to be emblematic of the character arcs, whether it's with the toy maker or the boy and the dad.
Yeah.
So all throughout, the toy maker is gonna need to, he's gonna need to confront this rebellion guy who presumably knew him in the past and feels betrayed by him. The dad is probably gonna find out that the mom was a Slinky wizard and that the toy maker knew her, and they're gonna have some feelings to hash out. The dad can move independently, right?
Yes, he can, but he can only move the way a Slinky can move. So he's slow and he's
There are like multiple Slinky forges. That was just the closest one that broke. The dad wants to go and find the next one because he's only concerned about
getting out of the Slinky.
But the son wants to help these people regardless.
Yes.
So, okay, they are fighting, right? And then they're not as strong, so they get beat.
Okay.
Maybe the dad is captured or the dad leaves.
I think the dad leaves.
The dad leaves?
Okay. Yes, in the midst of a battle, leading to the son getting captured.
Okay.
And so now the dad realizes, oh no, I've made a mistake.
So then he meets up with the toy maker, who's currently also at his lowest point. He's like in the Han Solo bar after he's picked up his bounty, but he feels empty inside still.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's going to need to convince him to come back and join the fight.
So now Slinky Dad and Toy Maker
team up. They realize all the things that they have in common, how they both feel guilty about how they weren't there for the mom. And now they're not there for the son. So they're gonna go back. They're gonna work together. The toy makers dual wielding Slinkies. They basically go to the base.
Okay.
With the most dangerous. Maybe they intentionally get captured just so they can get in because he's walking in with the thing that the guys most want.
Yes.
And then he ends up getting the Slinky to the son. What
I think happens is they get the son. And then the evil guy knows that whoever has the Slinky, maybe he knows that the dad isn't the Slinky. Maybe he thinks the toy maker has the Slinky. Regardless, he takes the son to the place where he needs to get the Slinky to do whatever it is he's going to do. So the toy maker takes the dad to that place as well, and they have a final battle.
Okay. I just feel like we want to reunite the dad with the son because the dad is the thing
they have the final battle, and then
that the son is wielding.
No, the toy maker attacks them, gets the son out. Like, he trades himself for the son in some sort of maneuver.
Okay.
And then there's a reunion, and the son has the final battle.
They break into where the son is captured.
Okay.
They give the dad's Slinky to the son so we can wield it. They fight, but they end up fighting up to exactly where the big bad evil guy, the Slinky Warlord, is.
Okay.
I think he can, once he has the dad's Slinky, he has enough power that he can just do it from anywhere, but he's going to, do it on top of his castle or something.
Okay.
So he ends up getting the dad's Slinky in their fight, and he, starts twirling it and sending it in as a beacon up into the sky to where it starts punching a hole through the universe, and you end up seeing New York folding in on itself through the hole in the sky.
Okay.
But then the dad's willpower for his son is stronger than the evil magic of the Slinky Warlord. So I guess his Slinky elongates and it's still connected to the sky, but basically the kid can wield it. One end is in the sky, one end is in his fist, and so he ends up doing strong, powerful Slinky magic punches.
Okay. They have a Slinky magic.
Yeah.
Both the boy and the evil warlord have different ends of the Slinky dad, and they fight each other while the middle is in the sky.
That's great.
And obviously the boy wins, and then everything ends up okay.
Right, and at the same time, the toy maker and all the rebellion Slinky warriors are fighting all the evil Slinky warriors
on the ground below the castle.
Around the castle, and then they win. Everyone survives, and I think. Okay, two options. There's still a hole in the sky that opens to the real world, but now the thing is the whole world can know about the magic of Slinkies, and they can live in peace without them folding in on each other. Or we can have it be that closes and it's just a separate secret world.
I like the idea of them leaving it open because that A leaves the option open to a sequel, and B it shows the progression.
Now people know about the Slinky Wizard.
Yes,
and every kid can have a Slinky. Every kid
can
have
Slinky
magic.
Every
kid can have the magic of Slinky.
Yes, I like this. Okay. I think we have a movie.
Yeah. Let's see. And then they put the dad back in his body.
Obviously.
I imagine that, like, because of the way they did it, where they left the body behind, we wanted to have it so that the Slinky Forge will separate the soul from the Slinky, and it will just automatically go right back into his body. So they find another Slinky Forge. They get it out.
It'd be funny if it was in the middle of the dad and the teacher doing something that they throw him back. But I don't know.
They're like bungee jumping. And the Slinky is like really stretchy. And he's like, what the heck is happening? He's like, isn't this great? I never took you as this much of a thrill seeker.
That is funny.
I've never felt more alive.
The dad's just screaming all of a sudden.
I feel a real connection with you, Leonard.
Who are you?
And, yeah. And I don't know, they have sort of an awkward interaction, but maybe he decides to take the teacher on a real date later.
Okay, yeah. Less important.
And now, like, maybe the toy maker is teaching. Maybe we have the rebellion guy who represents the rebellion be the guy to lead the Slinky world now. But the toy maker goes back to the real world, and now he's teaching kids how to use Slinky power.
Opens up a magical Slinky school a la Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Which we could make the sequel about.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
if we make it.
I don't know if it's as big as Hogwarts, but he has like a Slinky dojo.
He has a Slinky dojo. Slinky dojo is a good idea.
Workshop, even if it's just like in the mall, and it's just like all these.
It would be cool if we stylized the Slinky magic to be very similar to bending from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and so that he could be doing the Slinky magic like. Whoa.
That's exactly what I'm picturing. I'm picturing these kids making like infinity motions with their Slinkies as they're all standing on mats in front of the toy maker. As he's teaching them as his new students. That's great.
That's a wrap. I like this.
This is a lot better than what I thought we could possibly do with a Slinky movie.
I would watch this movie. This sounds like a banger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good. So we have our next pitch.
I think
we got it. We outlined it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's run through it real quickly one more time.
Okay.
Do you wanna?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. The movie starts out. We've got this dad who has been resigned to his work lately after the death of his wife, and his son who feels separate from him and is playing with a Slinky that he got from his mother. So the father is doing experiments. The son interrupts them, and the father takes the son's Slinky because that's what he used to interrupt.
He's trying to pull on some sort of interdimensional energy that he believes exists.
And the Slinky is the key, but he doesn't know it.
Key, but he also does it wrong. Also, he's just messing with magic that he shouldn't.
Yeah. So he does that. He causes an accident, grabs the Slinky, ends up inside of the Slinky. And the son is like, whoa, Dad, you're in a Slinky. What the heck, bro? That's weird.
And then the dad's body is possessed by the Slinky.
Yeah. Which goes on a date with the son's teacher, but that's tangential.
First, it rolls out because that's how they get to the mall. And then the dad is on an escalator. I like that we didn't end up putting an actual Slinky on the escalator, but instead it's a man with the mind of a Slinky, which is far more entertaining.
Yes, this is hilarious.
We still paid homage to that Geico commercial.
We have indeed. The toy maker finds them.
They get attacked. They get protected by the toy maker.
Yes.
They take the Slinky mind dad body back. That's my new band name.
Slinky mind dad body.
Slinky
mind dad bod.
We are Slinky mind in the dad bods. They put him in a closet. They go to the toy maker, sees a picture of the wife on the wall and realizes who this is. He feels guilt. He's like, all right, fine. We will go separate your dad, and then I am taking you back home. So they go to find the Slinky Forge. Meanwhile, the teacher arrives at the house for the date that the kid set up with his dad not knowing. They end up going on a date as the Slinky man leads
and the teacher
leads her out of the house. Meanwhile, they go on the Slinky. Do we want to have them? I suppose if we're going to have the Slinky train be the main method of travel between all of the realms, then what we'll do. Yes, they will use the Slinky train to get to the Slinky Forge, and they will ride on the Slinky dog to get to the Slinky world.
Yes.
So we're not going to have 2 Slinky train scenes. We're not going to do too much Slinky train, which was my worry.
Got it. Okay.
They're on the Slinky train. They fight on the Slinky train. They do all those fun train things. At first, they're trying to lay low. They get discovered.
Mm-hmm.
They have the thing with the dad being stretched between the 2 trains. They arrive at the Slinky Forge. They're being pursued. The Slinky Forge breaks. They get rescued by the Resistance. They ride the giant Slinky dog into Slinky World. The dad and the son fight and get captured.
Yes.
And the son gets captured. The dad and the toy maker make up and go to rescue the son. They fight the big bad evil guy. They open a hole to the real world.
Oh, the real world starts collapsing on itself. There's a big battle happening between the Slinky Force and the evil Slinky on the ground, where the boy and the Slinky Warlock fight each other with opposite ends of the Slinky dad, who is also going up into the sky.
Right. They defeat the evil guy.
Mm-hmm. And then this door to the real world is still open, allowing all the children of the world to have access to the magic of Slinky.
They're not able to close it, but the toy maker decides to like move it to the ground so it's not in the sky. And then you just have like a gateway, like the portal that they put in New York.
Yeah.
It's just like
only without the. Never mind. And then.
Yep, that was weird. Anyway,
that was weird. Yeah. Anyway, and then.
And without all the 9/11 jokes, there are no 9/11 jokes in this Slinky portal.
Oh, darn it, bro. But yeah, and then the toy master opens up a Slinky dojo in the real world, and the rebel guy that we didn't really develop that much in this conversation starts leading the rebellion.
I mean, we pretty much got his characterization. Like he is mad at the toy maker for abandoning them. He or she was also friends with the mom. Back in the day, they lead the resistance. They're still passionate in the ways that the toy maker is not.
Mm-hmm.
And they stuck with the fight, and they've lost people for it, and they're hurt for it.
Yes.
And but they've maintained that hope.
They have. Yes. Okay. That's fair.
They don't really have as much of an arc because they already represent.
Yeah. They're a static character.
The good fight.
Yeah.
They change the other people around them. They're a standing stone for which the toy maker will grow.
Yeah.
And also to prod the boy towards wanting to be a hero and help these people once he sees how they need help.
Okay.
Which will then drive the dad and the kid apart, leading to the climax.
All right. All right, studio heads. What do you think of that big movie studio? Can we go home now? Can we go home, big movie studio, please?
I don't think they ever said they were gonna bring us home. I think they just said they would like give us food if we pitched the movie.
Oh. Can we have food, big movie studio, please? Oh.
It's another package.
It's another package.
Just open it.
It's Monster and Pop-Tarts.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Is that it?
Is it? Hello?
That's the whole thing?
That's all of it?
That's what I mean...
Noah, why did you do this to us?
I didn't do this to us.
Yes, you did do this to us.
Okay, do we want to blame me, or do we want to blame the big people upstairs, you know?
I want to blame both of them. You're both equally at fault.
Well, I don't like that. I don't like how much at fault I am.
I don't either, Noah, but this is how things are.
Listen, can't we just be thankful that we pitched a really good Slinky movie?
What? We got Pop-Tarts and Monster out of it, Noah.
Yeah, but like some people pour their hearts into a movie and they get nothing out of it, so...
Yes, but they also get to see the son and their family.
And that's been all for today. This has been the Totally Legit Writer's Room. We pitched a movie about a Slinky.
Noah, I want to go home.
I honestly feel like we did a really good job. I feel like this is the kind of thing, like the Lego movie, where you hear that they're making this and they're just like, oh, what a dumb product placement. Then it actually turns out to be really good.
And then there's a copy of it, like the Playmobil movie.
Yeah,
they're going to be coming out with the paddleboard movie right after.
The paddleboard movie, the yo-yo movie.
Noah, I think we're having a negative effect on the world.
I don't know. We'll see if any of these actually get made.
I guess.
I feel like it's not our fault. We made one good movie.
We did make one good movie.
If other people take that and make, bad movies out of it, that's not our fault.
I guess. Oh, well. Well, this was a Totally Legit Writer's Room, I guess. See you guys next time.
Hopefully we'll, still be alive down here.
Yeah, yeah. I think I can live on Pop Tarts.
Yeah, pass me a
and
Pop Tart.
mustard.
Pass me a Pop
I
Tart.
got you, bud.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah.